This video will give you a brief introduction to how to create a slide deck and some of the options that are available on slide decks. Okay, so like with any other activity, you go to activities and you can either create a new quiz or a new slide deck. We're going to create a slide deck, so we click new slide deck. It takes us to the slide deck editor. Because I'm doing this in development mode, it's kind of clunky looking here, but maybe I should fix this so it looks a little better eventually. But I did put these buttons here so you can hide different things. But essentially there's a slide sorter, much like you would expect to see in like a PowerPoint. And then there's a slide content where you're going to edit the actual content of the slide, and there's a preview over here. You can hide the sorter and see the preview a little better, or you can hide the preview and see the slide content a little better. But let's just kind of leave it open for now. So when you first open up to the page to create a new slide deck, you have to give it a title. Let's give it a test slide deck, number 555. You can provide a little description of it over here. You can give it different themes, different colored themes and things like that. We're just going to go with plain white. And there's different transitions. The slide slides to the left and the right, and there's a convex kind of rotation or a concave kind of rotation, and there's a zoom type. Okay, we'll just leave it at convex where it was. And you can also set a complete by deadline, and if you'd like to share this activity with other instructors. Okay, but essentially, you from the slide sorter, you can add more slides by right-clicking. Okay, so I can add a slide before or after. Let's add another slide after. So it added a blank slide here. When you double-click on a slide, it'll activate it in the slide content window, so you can edit it. Let's hide this preview over here a little bit. Let's call this I don't know, title 1, 2, 3. And if you come back over here and double-click, you'll see it kind of updates here in your slide sorter. Okay, so this is the first page of the first slide, if you will, and this is the second slide. If we go to the hide the slide sorter and show the preview, click refresh here, you can kind of work your way through your new slide deck. Okay, because we don't really have a lot of content in it yet, just a couple bare bones type pages. But let's show the slide sorter again, and let's add a question from the question bank. Okay, so I'm going to add a question right here. Let's say so I'm going to delete these bullet points. We're in there by default, and then if you hit add question, then the pop-up is displayed, and you can choose from the various questions that are allowed to be used in slide decks. Only certain questions are allowed, not all the question types are allowed. Most of them, but most of the important chemistry ones are at least, but some of the numerical ones aren't. Let's use this question, draw a monodeuterocyclohexane. So I inserted that question in here. You won't be able to see the question here, okay, but you will be able to see it in the preview. So if I go back to here, resave it, it's going to always put a big green kind of placeholder for wherever your question was in there. So if I go over here to preview, then I can just hide the sorter, and then I can kind of work my way through the question. So here's like a question that's been kind of put into a slide deck. Okay, so let's go back to the slide sorter here, and then you could add another slide maybe after this one, and then you get I have 3 slides kind of built into it. So if I go up and hit save now, it'll save my new slide deck. Here's my new slide deck 555. If I go to this link right here, preview info comments, you can look at the actual slide deck. And this page here is very similar for every type of activity on OpenOChem. And it's really essentially only for instructors, and for instructors to come and attempt and play with various options of your activity. They could make comments on it and things like that. But if you wanted to view the slide deck now, you can come here and see, here's our question, draw a monodeuterocyclohexane. So draw a structure, cyclohexane, let's put a little bond off here, add our deuterium. Boom, let's submit it. Correct. Oh, looks like I got it right. That's good. Then the student could go on through the presentation and work their way through the different questions or slide pages that you have. This is the convex transition type that I was telling you about a little earlier. So essentially that's it. They're pretty easy to create a slide deck, and it's pretty easy to insert questions and things into them so that you can get a little bit of assessment while you're also doing your presentations. Okay, so Click done. And when I click done, it brings me back to the instructor page. Okay, so if I go back to my dashboard, I'll see there's no activities assigned here. If I go back to my activities, I could actually assign this activity now here and test it as a student. So now I've assigned that activity. It's actually closed to attempts. So if you tried to attempt it as a student, this is what the student's going to see. It's going to say, I'm sorry, this activity is closed to attempts. So you got to go back and convert yourself back to the instructor role, and then you can open this activity, and now it can be attempted as a student. So attempt the activity. There's my blank page from the beginning. There's my question that we inserted into it, and again the blank slide at the end. So just a brief tutorial on how to create slide decks. Thanks for listening.